Hi everybody, I'm Patrick Dockry. In my life, I have worn many hats and tasted many flavors. As I travel the world, I explore the finest cities in search for culture, history, and great food. Along the way, I get to meet today's most interesting celebrities, focusing on the positive side of life, allowing them to share their causes, charities, and what truly fascinates them. We cook and dine with some of the finest chefs of our time, preparing healthy and delicious meals in some of the hottest restaurants. Also, we showcase the latest, most creative, and hippest trends of beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. I pursue my passion for health and fitness and acquire some of the most innovative wellness strategies. And now, I want to share this all with you. So come along on this amazing journey, and together we will experience a world of health, beauty, and life. On today's show, we're in Santa Monica, California at the home of Mr. P90X himself, Tony Horton. We're taking you behind the scenes in his home gym and fitness playground, where we learn about his personal philosophy on motivation, fitness, and living life to the fullest. Tony is best known as the creator of the most challenging and best-selling P90X workout system. But we learned it's not only is he truly physically fit, he has a burning passion to encourage others to embrace a healthy and well-balanced lifestyle. He shares with us how he got to be a fitness superstar, what it takes to maintain a balanced and self-motivated attitude, and shows us some of his mind-blowing physical feats as he defies his age at 55. So now, let's get motivated with Tony Horton. Hi everybody, today we're here in Santa Monica, a lovely day in California, Southern California, with an amazing man, I must say.
Thank you, sir.
Tony Horton, how are you, buddy?
Patrick, pleasure, man.
Yes, it is a pleasure. Well, I wanted to know, because it's all about Tony Horton today.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Very much so. You know,
yeah, thank you.
Not only good looking, handsome, but I mean,
your hair and makeup people are spot on.
There's a rumor you have a brain on you.
A brain? Well, you know, I know a thing or two about a thing or two, only because I've had to for survival purposes.
Ah,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't all start off this way. I mean, you even told me that you were a crummy athlete.
I was a terrible athlete. I had 2 left feet. I was the last kid picked on every team except for dodgeball. What's up with that? You know why?
Yeah,
he's an easy target. Because, you know, when I grew up in the 60s, many moons ago.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm your buddy right here.
You look marvelous.
Thanks, Dolly.
I got to tell you, we look good for our age.
We do. We definitely do.
It's the lighting. Anyway, but I just wasn't good, and exercise and training was sort of a real bear for me. It was not a fun process. My dad was a great athlete, you know, and he was a captain of his football, baseball, and basketball teams. But he didn't want to place that burden on me, the whole process of, you know, feeling beat up. And so I was kind of wandering out. I was on the football team, but I was really more of a tackling dummy than anything else. You know,
well, it made you tough, though.
Yeah. I mean, I got beat up Monday through Friday, and come game day, I did a lot of this. Hey, nice play.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really play very much, but I got out to Southern California, and you know, the neat thing about this place is that there were gyms on every corner. It wasn't this coach beating up on you thing anymore. It was going to the gym, and in those days, it was purely aesthetic. It was about my ego. I mean, I wanted a six-pack, and I wanted, you know, what happened there?
Jeez, you got the pump going, buddy.
I got a little pump. Well, I did some pull-ups before the interview.
All right.
Yeah, you know, give it away. I gave away all my secrets right here. And I just loved it. And back in those days, it was not about being a better athlete. It wasn't about performing better. It wasn't about, you know, the kinds of things the reasons why I train now. I trained purely because I just liked the look. It was all about the look. If you look at a lot of
the chicks.
It's for the chicks.
It's for the chicks.
For the chicks.
That's what we all
because I had no personality and no money. You know what I mean? And
I had long hair. I had that going for me.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah,
and I had long hair too, and I had the mustache the whole bit.
We had the mustache?
Oh, I had the mustache.
Wow.
Yeah, the big old handlebar. I used to get the wax going.
Very nice.
It was the look. It was the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody looked like a state trooper back in those days, you know. So, but that was really it. And then I got my first celebrity client. Just, you know, pure luck. I was training my boss. I used to be a PA over at Fox. I mean, I was a pantomime on the streets. I worked retail. You and I were talking earlier, I was a go-go dancer at Chippendales.
Yeah. I remember those days. There you go, buddy.
You know, there you go, little pop and lock.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was a pantomime.
Marceau.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I actually studied under Marcel Marceau's undergrads back in the day, a guy by the name of Michael Grando. Wow. I was so fascinated with physical movement, you know, whether it be through dance or through mime or for, you know, physical training. I mean, here in my backyard, I've got a pegboard, I've got a rope, I've got a high bar, we've got rings, parallel bar, I've got 2 slack lines. You know, and for me now, it's about performance. Right. It's purely about performance. I'm 55 years old, or at least I will be probably when this comes out. And I just got back from an 8-day heli skiing trip. That's something amazing. I could have never done in my 20s or 30s, but now in my 50s I can.
And you're at altitude.
At an altitude.
And you hit a tree.
And I hit a tree really hard.
So what happened?
And I didn't break. I thought I broke all my ribs, but miraculously, because here's the thing about training now. Back then, ego, aesthetics, meeting girls, whatever, you know what I mean? Going to the gym and doing an hour and a half of chest one day, and the next day you do legs for 2 hours. You know, you're doing hack squats all day long, which was all about building size and getting big and having massive traps. And these were, you know, important to me then. Now I want to be able to, you know, I want to be able to climb ropes, and I want to be able to ski really hard, and I want to mountain bike, you know, and I want to ice climb and kayak, and I want to do really fun things. You know, I do indoor training for the outside world.
Stick around, Tony's just getting warmed up. Welcome back. We're with Tony Horton.
Well, if you think about it, when you're doing these fun activities, it's not hurting so bad, so you actually enjoy them.
Exactly.
When it hurts, you're like not about the activity.
Yeah. Well, my metabolism is through the roof. My pain threshold is very high, and it was the opposite before. You know, I had a terrible metabolism. I mean, I was something bodybuilders called skinny fat. Right, I was kind of a skinny. When you looked at me, I was skinny, but before I trained. But I had this little belly on me. I had like about a 34, 35-inch waist and little skinny arms. I couldn't do more than 7 pull-ups. Wow. You know, now I can do like 35 pull-ups.
That's amazing.
And do like 100 push-ups. And I do push-ups on med balls and Swiss balls. And I, you know, I jump up on the slack line, things I just couldn't do when I was younger. So it's more about can do. It's more about performance. It's more about exercises that relate to speed, balance, and range of motion. But if you're focusing on getting better at things, right, as you get older, then you'll get the look anyway. You'll get this, right? You'll get the, you won't get the wire, but you'll get the, you'll get this.
It's a six-pack.
And you know how many times I work abs specifically? Never. Never. I do core-based exercises that involve twisting and moving and turning and standing on one leg and using Swiss balls as a means to, you know, really improve my core, which starts from my armpits to my kneecaps.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If this part in the middle is strong, your back problems go away. Your six-pack automatically comes, and you can function better as a human being, whether you're picking up a box or whether you're, you know, you're reaching up for a rock on a rock climbing route. That's what it's really about. There's too many people whose purpose is out of whack with what they want in life.
Yeah, and it's not sustainable, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not, really.
Exactly. That is a very good point, because they work and work and work to get this aesthetic look. I can tell you, I was on a trip. I do these events all around the world. I had a fitness camp in Vegas, and this 6'6" cop comes up to me, and I watched him online. I watched him go from a big guy to a lean guy, and when I saw him, he had gained about 25 pounds back, and I said, wait a minute, I thought you had, he said, well, the day I finally got the look I wanted, I was in a great mood and then instantly in a bad mood, because I thought, well, what am I going to do now? And he said, the reason why I'm here at this camp with you is to figure out how to regroup, how to, you know, reactivate a new purpose, something that's going to sustain me long term. Because you know what we think? Oh, it's got to be an hour. P90X is an hour. The reason why so many folks don't do P90X, we've sold, I don't know, over 5 million copies, is because a lot of people just don't want to put that time in. And I say, well, what if you did half of it? Well, that's not right. I've got to do the whole thing. Who said? Who made that rule? You're going to either choose nothing or a half an hour? Which one do you suppose is better?
I think a half hour might be better.
You know, I'll be in a hotel and it's pouring rain outside. The gym is awful and terrible, and there's, you know, it's crowded. I'll just do a bunch of stairs for 10 or 15, 20 minutes, up and down, up and down. You know, it's about breathing deeply to move blood into your brain. And when you breathe deeply, you're stimulating norepinephrine and dopamine and serotonin. And
those aren't cuss words.
They are not cuss words, not even close.
Okay.
And something known as brain-derived neurotropic factor. Say it with me.
Brain-derived neurotropic factor. Oh, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. No, we didn't even rehearse that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not about getting old like your parents and grandparents did. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to work out for the full hour. You don't have to eat every single morsel perfectly clean and organic and healthy and gluten-free and blah, blah, blah. But you have to have more good days than bad. Exercising 2 days a week and not exercising 5, that just doesn't work. Throw yourself down a set of stairs and be sore, because the 2 days are never going to make up for the 5 where you're doing nothing. And same thing with food. Eating a healthy meal once in a while just just ain't cutting it. But if your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner are clean and healthy, where you're getting the most of your calories, then you can have some chocolate-covered almonds, or you can have maybe half a Snickers bar, or you can cheat here and there. But when breakfast, lunch, and dinner are clean, why would you want to think about it? People get up and they have pancakes and waffles with butter and syrup. Yeah. It's birthday cake. Yeah, the ingredients are just put a damn candle in it, blow it out, and then eat it, and then count how many years you'll be shorter on Earth. I mean, that's
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean,
well, you know what I noticed too, Tony? Just the few changes I've made. I don't want to eat bad anymore. Like once I start seeing results, I want to eat better.
Yeah.
I want to do better all the time. Yeah.
And hey, look, some days are hard, some days are stressful, sometimes your biorhythms are out of whack, the barometric pressure in your bedroom's off. I don't know what it is, but there's any number of things that we can't really see, we can't feel, but they're out there and they're affecting us all the time. And so sometimes you reach for comfort food. Sometimes you say, you know what, I'm not doing the damn workout today.
Right.
And I'm just going to take it easy, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that over the course of a month, over the course of 30 days, give or take, you want to get 22 workouts in. And if you can do that, you're going to see dramatic physical, mental, and emotional change in conjunction with making sure that you eat healthy 80 to 90% of the time. Some people are just robots, you know what I mean? They eat clean all the time. They're eating raw and vegan or whatever.
Right.
Look, I was a vegan vegetarian for 15, 17 years. And then I met this gal, and we've been going out for 4 years, and she cooks beautiful chicken and beautiful fish. And I'd be over there eating my goulash, and she'd have some kind of hammered out, peppered, spiced chicken with arugula and Parmesan cheese. And I'd look at her and go, can I have a bite of that? And so now I don't treat my food like a religion anymore. I'm not vegan or vegetarian or flexitarian or Paleolithic. I eat like my great-great-grandparents used to eat. I don't eat, I try to stay away from the chemicals. I try to stay away from the fat, sugar, salt, the processed food, the foods that are made in factories, fast foods. I don't know what's in that stuff.
Right.
And the ingredients list are things I can't pronounce.
Absolutely.
But if I eat like my great-great-grandparents ate, I eat a plethora. There it is again. I did a panoply.
Not only this guy, handsome, amazing, but the brain on this kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I borrowed it, actually. I got one down at the 7-Eleven.
Okay, well, clean it before you take it back, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, right.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Mr. P90X. Welcome back with energetic Tony Horton.
But you were talking to me about food and time, and something amazing you told me about. Tony Horton's Kitchen, was that what it was?
Tony Horton Kitchen, TonyHortonKitchen.com, www.TonyHortonKitchen.com. Did I throw a plug in there?
A little bit.
Even notice.
You're allowed.
I don't even notice.
But tell me what it is. Tell me the philosophy.
Well, look, I understand the food thing, but it's still the hardest part for me.
Okay.
So I found a company that I really liked and I trusted, and they make amazing food. They have an amazing kitchen. It's gluten-free food. It's sugar-free food.
Gluten-free.
It's super low in sodium. There are even sodium-free meals. And you don't need a whole lot of knives and forks. There's a lot of spoons. So, when you dip in, there's like 15 ingredients right there in that one little, just vegetables. And we have a Paleolithic one for folks that, flexitarian we call it, which is kind of meat-based, with which we have free-range chicken, and we have grass-fed beef and buffalo, and wild fish. There's that option. But we have something for vegans and vegetarians as well. And so the process is hard for people. They, like you did P90X the first time, and you didn't do the diet.
I know.
Because, it's not.
I was all like, hey, dude, what's up?
You're all pumped up.
Yeah.
But you want to be, you want the insides to be as healthy as the outsides appear, right? So that's what the food thing's about. The food's about everything on the inside, because you're going to die from one of three things: environmental, right, genetic, or behavioral. And far too many people die way too young, too miserably, because their behavior stinks. Their genetics are fine. They don't live near Chernobyl, right? So chances are they're going to be okay.
You got a chance, kid.
Yeah, we got a chance.
So Tony, there's a chance.
So I came up with Tony Horton Kitchen because I wanted people to do two simple things: to get the food, heat it up, open it, eat it up. Take the recycled container, throw it away. Traditionally, you get in the store and you go around with your cart and you get all the things, and you get in line, you go back out and somebody's dinged your car and you have to get in traffic. You go back to your house and you have to put something in the pantry, in the refrigerator. Good. Now you have to put all the pots and pans and you got to cook and prepare and prep, and then the family eats and the kids bitch because it's not what they wanted. And then all of a sudden, now, hey, you got to clean it up. You got to put it, and then you repeat. Then you go back to the store. Heat it up, eat it up. You're done.
Sounds pretty good.
Our vegan meals are $9.
Not bad.
$9.
Where are you going to get a meal
$9.
At a restaurant? You're not going to
You can go to a fast food restaurant and pay more
you
for
can.
something that will accelerate your death.
Sounds like.
Or you can eat whole, healthy foods that invigorate you, help you lose weight, help you function better, help your brain function. And all you have to do is go to TonyHortonsKitchen.com. Good grief, if that isn't easy, I don't know.
Does it come to your house? Does it get?
Comes to your house, and this is not frozen food.
Okay.
We have a form of packaging. There's 3 seals. So
Before? After.
After.
Sorry.
So our folks, they go to the farmer's market.
Okay.
They handpick the
They do the labor.
They do the labor.
How much is your time worth?
Yeah, how much is your time?
Your time's worth a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to go skiing.
You know, a lot of folks say, well, we have a family of 5 and we can't feed all our kids, and $9 per person is really expensive. Well, we have deals for families. We know where we give you discounts if you buy in bulk. We will work with you. You know, we try to make it work.
Yeah.
So, you know, instead of doing all that stuff, it just comes to your door. It's fresh, sealed. It goes in the fridge. So if you think about it, every meal and every workout is an opportunity to move in one of 2 directions. For better or for worse.
That's right.
Oh, isn't that all? I mean, in a way, to me, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, some meals are going to not be ideal. Right. And, you know, there's going to be too much sugar in them or too much fat or too much salt. But the idea here is to give you as many opportunities as possible so you can eat healthy as often as possible.
And do it again. And Mano Manischewitz. I remember that in my head.
All my lines.
And you know,
I have a couple lines.
What's the one that I like the most is do your best and forget the rest. I love that line. That is so true, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the rest that gets in our way.
Yeah.
We're thinking about the rest.
Yes.
Which prevents us from doing what we need to do so that we can become better human beings. So forget that, because it's not serving you.
Okay.
Just do your best. And is your best the same every day? No. I come out here sometimes, I got all this equipment, right? I've got Versa climbers and bikes and treadmills and pull-up bars and ropes and
pegs, jumping and rings.
And sometimes I come out here and I am Superman on the moon. I mean, it's so easy for me. Other days I come out here and I am Johnny Kryptonite on the planet Saturn. It's just, why do I feel so?
And what do you do in that case?
You just do it.
Do your best.
You decrease your range of motion.
Okay.
You decrease your rep count and how much weight you move, and you just listen. You know, Woody Allen, I think he said, I don't know if he takes credit for this, 80% of life is showing up.
Yeah.
And what's the other 20% for? Paying attention to what's happening to you while you're there.
Absolutely.
Right? So if your ego is in the way, if you're trying to compare today's workout to yesterday's workout, then you're often going to be disappointed.
It'll kill you.
But the job is your lame, awful, terrible, short cut workouts always lead to better ones. But the ones where you feel like, you know, the ones where you choose nothing, you always get nothing. And then you don't, when you come back, it's even harder.
Okay, coming up next, we're getting pumped with Tony. We're back in Tony's Fitness Playground.
Like after you did the workout, how important is rest?
Rest is very important. I mean, you know, it's the yin and yang, right? I mean, you know, if the pendulum's going to swing this far in one direction, it's got to swing that far in that direction. And how do you get rest? People don't get their 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep every night.
True.
Put your head on the pillow, get your 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep every night, because sleeping is healing.
Healing. Yeah.
It's healing. That's when you heal.
Yes.
Or some people meditate. That's great. Some people do a form of like yin yoga or other kinds of yoga. That's awesome as well. You have those opportunities. But most Americans don't do yin yoga.
No.
Yeah, you know, so here's the thing. You can rely on a source outside of yourself.
Okay.
Coffee, wine, pharmacist, doctor, pills, potions, whatever, to help solve some of your problems temporarily. But, you know, collectively, that will eventually work against you.
It's not a long-term fix.
No. And hey, look, I'm not telling anybody they need to stop taking their meds or you know, stop drinking wine and coffee. Look, if your life is awesome and you feel great and everything's functioning well and you don't need the information that I'm disseminating right now, well, then fine. But if you're struggling and things aren't right for you, and you might want to, don't be a new hater. You know, don't be somebody who's afraid of new things. Jump in the deep end. Just go ahead and do it, because even if it doesn't work, you've got a great story to tell.
Another adventure.
Yeah, you can point your finger at my face and go, see, Tony, I tried your P90X, your 10-minute trainer, and I got off the alcohol and everything. And I got all ripped. And look at me. I got all ripped and happy, and I didn't like it. I want to be miserable and overweight again. That's the guy I want to be.
And you can go right back to it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But jump in the pool, man.
All right.
You know what I mean? Open the door. Crack open the window. Look out.
Baby,
Say, what is happening? And take a deep breath.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty intense. I like that.
I mean, I get a little intense.
Yeah, you
sometimes.
believe it.
Bringing it down.
Well, Tony, you're intense. You still got a lot of life left in you.
I'm mellow.
You're going in the hundreds, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna mellow out at about 105.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's when I'll stop skiing, helicopter skiing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, until then, what do you get going on?
Well, you know, I've got this amazing relationship with Beachbody. Of course, we've got P90X, which was so huge initially with Power 90. Then 10-Minute Trainer. It's probably the #1 show that we're airing right now, which is fun. You know.
Thanks for sending me a copy.
Yeah. So that relationship with Beachbody, I love it moving forward. We got a new project coming out. But outside of that, you know, I've got the clothing line, TH Fitness, which is really exciting. Of course, we talked about Tony Horton Kitchen, and we're working with a major company that has massive distribution. We're really excited. I can't give that away just yet, but look for that. You might be able to find Tony Horton Kitchen everywhere. And now I'm writing my third book, which is really exciting. The first two books were exercise and diet, which is, you know, what I do. But this third book is different. It's really about how your approach to life, physically and dietarily, affect not only you, but your family, the people at work, your community, your state, your country, and this planet.
I agree.
I honestly believe that healthy people, that high-functioning healthy people, stop focusing on themselves. And there are so many couples, for example, that have bought one of my programs, and maybe it was just the guy or just the gal, and then, you know, the other one was saying, "Oh, why do you do this? You keep buying these programs, and they never work." But, you know, 2.5 years later, they're fit, and they're healthy, and then the spouse is brought in. And now you've got not two overweight people that are sitting around watching TV.
Two active people enjoying life.
Yes. Their kids now see two active parents, so they assume that that's normal, as opposed to the parents they had before, which were just sitting on their butt. Right? And so now these active kids become athletes on teams that help teams win. I mean, it just goes out like this, and that's what the book's about. And we're really excited about it.
I love it.
But you know, that's really the mix. That's really the mix. And so, if you work out today and you eat well today, today's great.
Yeah.
Because the past is history, the future's a mystery. What do you got?
Today.
You got right now.
You got right now, right here.
now. You're only as good as your last workout and your last meal.
Tony,
Patrick,
thanks so much for having us in your home. This is beautiful. Beautiful home, by the way.
Thank you, man, very much.
Yeah.
Fun just chatting, and I'm excited for you down the road.
And thanks for all the good work you're doing with all the people you've helped. And I mean, it seems like you got a lot going on in the future.
I do. Yeah, very busy, but I like it. I love it.
You love it. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time, just remember to enjoy.
Okay, welcome back. Thanks to Tony Horton for sharing his age-defying nutrition and exercise secrets, keeping it fun and educating us on the many ways Tony's core beliefs have changed the fitness world and making him one of the biggest names in the industry. Just remember to enjoy.